workforce? Are they becoming entrepreneurs? Where are these 300,000 women going? What are they doing now?
That's a great question. We don't really know. What we can look at from historical data is that there are two things that are probably happening. One is that they are becoming entrepreneurs, so small business owners.
Who had been saying that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
No, serious. I really hope so. And great ones at that.
That's one piece.
We need black men. We are the most educated demographic in this country right now. We have started more business than any demographic in this country right now. We're doing great.
To the economy now, where staggering numbers have been released surrounding black women in the labor force. A new report shows more than 300,000 black women have left the workforce.
Did black women lose their jobs? Or did black women resign to further become entrepreneurs? As we know, black women are the highest educated by race and gender.
In just the last several months, that's according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics.
If you don't feel like you can help out with me and my kids, then we don't have anything to talk about.
Time. Block.
Joining me now is gender economist Katica Roy to break this all down and why they're leaving. Katica, thank you so much for being with us.
Okay, so this is very popular. Let's check out this other news station first, and let's see what they're talking about as far as all of these jobs that are leaving the workforce for black women.
Well, the impact of job loss is being felt nationwide, especially among black women in the labor force.
For generations, most black women have not had the luxury to be feminine and soft and have a soft life.
According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, in February, more than 10.5 million black women were employed. But by June, that number dropped below 10.3 million. That's a loss of more than 300,000 employees in just months.
Okay, so we got to figure this out. I don't wish job loss on anybody. But the question is, instead of this 50-50 madness, will this now start to be the rise of 100-100? Meaning, since you have lost your job and we are together, I got us until you get back on your feet. And are you willing to reciprocate the same?
Some of that job loss can be attributed to cuts in the federal workforce and the dismantling of DEI programs in the public and private sectors. Gender economist Katica Roy joins us now. She recently wrote an article for MSNBC that examined black women leaving the labor force, and she joins us now with more on what she found. Thanks so much for joining us.
Now, this should be good. She should be able to explain why our black women are not as employed as they were before. So I'm listening. Now, once again, gentlemen, please. I already know you're going to be like, Sarge, what are you talking about? I don't know. The arrogance and the veracity, the language, the way they would speak to y'all.
Black women are running circles around men.
Right.
And it's also shown in research that women want to marry on their same level of financial and educational status.
Yeah.
So if you're a black woman making $150,000 a year with a master's degree, you tend to want to marry a black man on that same level or higher. If black women are excelling at such an accelerated rate, how do men keep up with that?
Now's not the time to jump down their throats and do the I told you so. No, listen. Because I know all of these are not single women. Some of these are y'all wives. Some of these are y'all fiancés. Some of these are actually y'all girlfriends. Or some are your kid's mother. So let's figure out how we rectify this situation.
Thank you for having me.
300,000 black women leaving the workforce in 3 months sounds like an alarming number. How and why did this happen? And why do you say it's not a coincidence?
Well, the job cuts, yeah, it's a good question. So if we take a step back, this is an economic alarm bell. You know, the primary piece that we are seeing is the federal job cuts and the agencies that were actually targeted for those cuts, which such as education and healthcare, which are predominantly employed black women. So, for instance, if you look at women's labor force participation and the percentage of black women in the labor force, they make up about 6% of the labor force, but 12% of federal jobs.
Come on, gentlemen, be polite. I know what y'all getting ready to say. Y'all getting ready to say that's what happens when you get in with Big Daddy government. Gentlemen, be polite. Come on. We're going to be gentlemen over here. That's what we're going to do. Yes, it sucks that they were hired at such an alarming rate in the government, and now the government is taking all those jobs away.
Wow. And we've certainly seen that loss, and we felt that loss locally for sure with the federal reduction. What kind of impact? So we talked a little bit about the economic effect. What kind of impact is the loss of black women in the workforce having locally, nationally? I mean, what does it mean for the future when it comes to things like student loans, home ownership, and building generational wealth?
Before she cuts in, now that student loan is a whole nother subject right there. Gentlemen, make sure that you're looking at your girl and figuring out whether or not she has a massive student loan debt before you go further. That right there could be worse than a baby.
And that's a great point. So one of the things that we know is for every percentage point of women leaving the labor force, it actually hits GDP at about $164 billion. So in other words, the connection is 1% equals about 146 billion GDP loss. But then we have things such as housing, the spillover effects that you were talking about, housing, healthcare, education, et cetera. And we've seen that even with inflation, right? So black women on average earn 64 cents on the dollar, but the inflation rate as of last week is 3 times that for women's goods and services.
Definitely sound like it's a tough place to be in. But the beauty about it is some of these women are going to have a softer landing than others because either they're married or they have lifetime partners.
Let me ask you, while all of this news seems very, very bleak, is there an upside? How do we go about reversing this trend?
Well, one of the things that we assume is that policy is gender neutral. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's gender ignorant. And what I mean by that is when we make these cuts, we're assuming that it's gender neutral. It isn't. It's gender ignorant. And the issue is that it impacts everyone. It doesn't only impact black women.
Okay, that's a new term for me. It's gender ignorant. So with that being said, I'm glad to know that. That means that they didn't go out their way to specifically target black women. All right, we should be good now.
It impacts the entire economy. Just as one example, between 1970 and 2016, women increasing their labor force participation added $2 trillion to the U.S. economy. When we see black women leaving the labor force, we're actually shrinking our economy.
Wow. And as you wrote, that affects every single one of us. So when we talk about that big number again, 300,000 women, black women leaving the workforce in just a couple of months, what sort of trends did you see? Are they out of the workforce? Are they becoming entrepreneurs? Where are these 300,000 women going? What are they doing now?
Did black women lose their jobs? Or did black women resign to further become entrepreneurs?
Listen, don't be mad at me. It never gets old. So I had to put it in there one more time.
That's a great question. We don't really know. What we can look at from historical data is that there are 2 things that are probably happening. One is that they are becoming entrepreneurs, so small business owners.
Who had been saying that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
No, serious. I really hope so. And great ones at that.
So that's one piece. Or they're joining the informal economy. So they may not be participating in the formal economy, which is tracked by things like the monthly jobs report, but they're participating in the informal economy.
Let me just ask a last question here. For the many women who are watching right now who are in this space, what would you tell them? What would your advice to them be?
Tell your story. I would say stand up and speak out. We need, the stories that I have heard just from publishing this article 5 days ago are incredible, and we need to hear your voices, and we need you. This is not just an issue of equity or fairness. Mm-hmm. This is actually an issue of economic opportunity for everyone.
All right. Gender economist Katica Roy, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your perspective.
Thank you.
Oh, it's my turn. So I'm going to tell them, lean on your man. Y'all do this together. This is just one hurdle that you go through in life. Listen. Leave it down below, comment, and just remember, I'm not here to beat up on black women at all. Trust and believe. This is just something that was in the news that came across my feed, and I said, you know what, let's talk about it. Because before it was 165, now we're up to 300,000. Let me know what you think about this.
Operator, Big Sarge is a true gentleman.